I didn't fit into the spiritual community. I didn't fit into the fashion community. So where do I fit in? Quite frankly, I really don't care anymore where I fit in. Shit, I'm creating my own freaking lane. Hi guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica Hannah. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Today I want to talk about purpose. If you're struggling to find your purpose, how I could help guide you. A little backstory. All my life, I've always known what I wanted, what I liked, what I didn't like. I always had a strong calling to what I wanted to do in life since I was really young. And during my Saturn return, my Saturn's in Pisces, so my Saturn return just finished. My Saturn's in my 10th house of career, and I was so lost. This was the first time that I've ever been lost when it comes to my career and my purpose and what I wanted to do. And I know a lot of you guys might be saying your career is very different from your purpose, but I think the whole point of this reality is to merge your purpose with your career, especially if you are on the divine feminine path, because I truly believe as women, when we lead with love and lead, I think every human, but especially for women, because we're not logical like men. So when we lead from the heart center, when we lead with doing the things that we love to do, abundance flows easier into our life. Okay, number one, I always think back to childhood. What called you when you were a child? What did you enjoy doing? What did you spend hours and hours doing that time would slip by and you didn't even realize that 5 hours would go by and you're like, you were so submerged into whatever it is you were doing. So tap back into your inner child. What did your inner child love to do? What did your inner child feel safe doing? A lot of us who had gone through trauma, our inner child had some type of space, safe space. And that safe space most likely is connected to your purpose. For example, I would always make jewelry. I was always sewing. My great grandmother taught me how to sew, kept me very creative. I would paint, I would talk, I would do so many things with my hands. I still talk with my hands. A lot of the times, our family members or those close to us will get us into what our purpose is because it's maybe something that they did or they enjoy doing. It was their hobby. One way of finding it. And let's say you were a kid and you don't remember a lot of things from your childhood. What you could do now is, what do you enjoy doing now? What would you, if money wasn't an option, what would you spend your time doing? For example, I love to help people, but I also love to be creative. So what can I merge into my life and create something new from that? It doesn't even have to look like something that's been done before. It can literally look like something brand new. And let's say you're like, Erica, I actually have no freaking idea. Don't stress about that, because literally you're in the best place to be. When you're in the unknown, you grant yourself space to be adventurous and try new things. So try all the things that you're intrigued by, even if it's so silly. Last year, I literally signed up for acting classes because I have been called to take acting classes for so long, not knowing why I was called. Was I gonna start an acting career? Was it to help me speak in front of people? What was the actual purpose? But I allowed those questions to dissolve, and I allowed myself to be where my feet are. Sometimes you're just given the first step without seeing the rest of the path. And you have to allow yourself to be okay with that. You have to allow yourself to trust that as soon as you step on the first path, on the first step, you have to trust that the next steps will appear when you're ready to take the next step forward. Okay? Sometimes we get ahead of ourselves and we're like, well, but why? But what? But what after? What comes then? And you haven't even gotten there. So allow yourself the grace of being where your feet are. Okay, you don't need to know all the steps or all the routes that you're meant to take. Sometimes you're just given the little glimpse, and you have to take that little leap of faith and trust that the next steps will reveal in due time. Try everything that intrigues you. Try it all. This life is so short. Like, why not? You know, I think a lot of the times our human mind wants to rationalize certain things and wants to come up with certain conclusions. And sometimes it's really not that deep. Sometimes we're just meant to experience those things and it not move to a certain career or be on that path. I still don't know why I was called to take those acting classes, but I'm sure in due time I will realize why. I know for a fact that those acting classes helped me be more myself. It helped me not be so scared to be seen. Okay, maybe it was just that purpose. And I'm okay with not knowing or knowing later on. There's no need to know why I was called to do it. The only thing that's important was that I did it. I think our generation, we're called to do multiple things. We're called to, we like different things. Like, I cannot be more of a contrast. I can't be more of a contrast with all the things that I love to do. I love fashion, but I love spirituality. I love yoga, but I love shopping. I think contradiction is beautiful. What is life without contradiction? So don't hold yourself back if the things that you enjoy doing are contradictory of one another. Actually, I think that's so beautiful, to embrace all aspects of yourself. And I'm not saying this is going to be for everybody, because I know there is certain people who like that one thing and go all in on that one thing and become a pro at that thing. But I know that not everybody's intended for that path. Sometimes, you know, I think my purpose in life is to be a channel of creativity, a channel of the divine, a channel to speak, a channel to create art, a channel to express love. And whatever way my channel wants to manifest in each given moment, I'm allowing myself that grace, and I'm not judging myself. Because one day I'm going to take a ballet class, and the next day I might be speaking on YouTube on how to change your freaking life, you know? And who says that's wrong? Who says that you need to pick one certain thing? I think especially like being niche to me is embracing all aspects of yourself. You don't need to stick to one specific niche. So embrace all those aspects of yourself, because that is very beautiful to do. I truly believe that it amplifies your blueprint of your soul. It amplifies every aspect of you, and that to me is extremely magnetic. That to me is the source of magnetism, is just being super authentic. You know, spirituality it could be, I always felt like I didn't fit into the spiritual community because I wasn't like, yes, let's meditate all day and like only eat vegan food and like go search for rainbows. And sorry, that's like super judgmental, and I don't mean to be like that, but I feel like I didn't fit into the spiritual community. I didn't fit into the fashion community. So where do I fit in? Quite frankly, I really don't care anymore where I fit in. Shit, I'm creating my own freaking lane, as you should too. And I swear, once you create your own lane and you become all aspects of who you are, you magnetize everything. You call it all in without needing to move a freaking muscle, because what it is that you're guided to do becomes like second nature. It's like an instinct. And you're not here wondering, damn God, what can I do to cultivate more abundance? Or what can I do to step into my purpose and my power? You're already it. You're already in it without thinking about it. That's my little advice. Not advice. I don't even like to say that this is advice. This is just me sharing what it is that I've learned. And I don't think it's intended to be advice. I actually think you shouldn't take anybody's advice but your own, but it's so nice to hear other people's perspectives and just, you know, show up for one another and be there for each other. Because literally, does anybody know what they're doing? I don't fucking think so. I don't know what I'm fucking doing. Every day I wake up and I'm just like, okay, what am I doing today? Okay. And I listened to the call. Literally today, as I was meditating after prayer, I was like, God, after meditating, I was in prayer. I'm like, God, tell me what to do and I'll freaking do it. I'm not even kidding. Tell me what to do and I will do it. And you know, I used to pray for that in 2023. And my guidance back then was like, it's not what you do, it's who you are. And I think my guidance is slightly a little different because I'm now putting in more of the physical action, you know, because I'm already internally who I am. But you have to also understand that when you become internally, when you become that version of you, you have to understand that your actions become second nature. I'll never forget, I was sober for like a year. I used to smoke weed every day. I used to be super codependent on weed. And I smoked for the first time in like a year or so. And I just decided to close my eyes and sit in my dark room. And I literally, my mind was like, at first my mind was present. And I saw like our realities, our timelines being shaped by this like film strip. And then all of a sudden my mind was bringing me to what I need to do the next day. And the film strip stopped being developed. And in that moment, I realized when you become out of the body, when you get into the mind out of the body, you actually stop deliberately creating. Especially when you're thinking about something that you need to do that's not even in this moment. So that's just a side note. I'm gonna go.